my family kicked me out, and the rest of my family wouldn't help me, and so I was out on the street on my own.
So you were homeless, literally?
Yeah.
What age was that?
14.
Hey everyone, welcome back. A lot of you have followed David's blueprint, and you know it's been an incredible story. Even though David's moved on, our mission still hasn't changed. Today I want you to meet Quinton. He's faced things that no kid should ever have to deal with, and his story matters. This is Quinton's blueprint.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself. Where are you from and what are you passionate about now?
I'm from Nuclear, Colorado, and I'm pretty passionate about this job opportunity.
Oh.
Getting to work here, getting to build my own house, everything like that. I just pretty much stayed to myself.
Okay.
I had no friends.
Can you take us back to your childhood? What was home life like for you growing up?
It was pretty rough. My mom and stepdad met when I was about 5 or 6, and we were together for about 6 or 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he put us through pretty much complete hell, and he gave us pretty rough childhood. Would beat us a lot, and just be a bad guy.
Just an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
He's not around now, eh?
No, he's in prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully for a while, huh?
Yeah.
Listening to Quinton, you feel how tough his childhood really was. No kid should ever experience that kind of pain, especially from someone who's supposed to take care of them.
Growing up, was there ever a time you felt truly alone or misunderstood? And if so, maybe you can tell me a little bit about that.
Not really,
You always had people around you?
I always had my brother, yeah,
Okay. Where's he now?
at my mom's.
Oh, okay. What is your relationship like with your parents, with your mom? You have a functional relationship with her presently?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's good knowing Quinton has rebuilt some of those relationships, especially with his mom, after going through so much.
When you faced your toughest moments as a kid, who did you turn to?
My brother.
Tell me why.
Because he was, older than me and just somebody I looked up to.
Sometimes having even just one person can make all the difference. And for Quinton, that was his brother.
Was there ever a moment you felt like giving up completely?
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah? You share what you went through and how you got past that?
I just talked to my brother about it, and, he convinced me that, it's not worth it. I have more to live for than what I was going through.
Knowing he was that close to giving up, that's exactly why this project matters. No kid should ever feel like they have no way out.
What's the hardest lesson life forced you to learn at a young age?
Being an adult.
What age do you feel like you had to kind of grow up when you think you were sort of forced to?
9 or 10.
9 or 10. How come?
Because my mom and stepdad would make us go get jobs, and they would just sit around the house all day.
You were working a job at 9 or 10 years old.
Imagine having to grow up at 9 or 10, forced to work instead of just being a kid. That's why this opportunity is so important for him now.
If you could change one thing about your past, what would it be and why?
My grandpa dying.
Were you close to him?
Yeah.
When did that happen for you?
4.
You were 4. What did you look up to the most about him before you lost him?
Just everything. He was the entirety rock of our family.
Yeah.
And now our family is basically nothing.
Kind of scattered and shattered, huh?
Yep.
No glue. Yeah, I get it.
Quinton talks about losing his grandpa, someone who held the family together. Losing that role model at a young age is devastating, and it clearly shaped who Quinton is today.
Shift gears here a little bit. Is there someone from your past that you wish you could see now, see him today, and see the positive changes that you've made and that you're making? And, who would that be, and what would you say to them if you had the chance?
Probably my grandpa.
What would you say to your grandpa if he could see you today and see what you're accomplishing?
I'm proud to be his grandson, and I hope he's proud of me, stuff like that.
Yeah?
When Quinton says he hopes his grandpa is proud of him, Man, that hits deep. Every kid deserves to have someone proud of them. And that's exactly what we're trying to give Quinton now.
Can you think of a moment or tell me about one when you wish that somebody would have stepped in and helped when things were hard for you, but nobody did?
There's a couple times, like, I think it was a couple years ago, my family kicked me out, and the rest of my family wouldn't help me, and so I was out on the street on my own.
So you were homeless, literally?
Yeah.
What age was that?
14.
Why'd they kick you out at 14 years old?
Mom and stepdad always fighting all the time, and she would always agree with him, and everything was his way. So,
Where
whatever.
did you go?
I went to my Uncle Billy's.
So you stayed with Uncle Billy for a bit.
Yeah, till he got arrested.
Hearing he was homeless at just 14 years old, that shouldn't happen to any kid. It makes this tiny house project even more meaningful for Quinton.
Looking back on all of that, Quinton, what was one thing you desperately needed as a kid, but you just never got it?
A father figure. A true father figure.
What do you feel like you missed out on by not having that?
You know, just that connection with that person.
Guidance, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Every child deserves guidance and stability. That's exactly what we're trying to provide through this project.
Any other passions or hobbies or anything that's super important to you?
Yeah, I like to hang out with my son, you know, go fishing,
How old's
stuff
your
like
son?
that. 11 months.
11 months old.
Seeing Quinton committed to his son and his future after everything he's been through, that's inspiring.
How did you first hear about the project? Tell me a little bit about how that went and what your thoughts were about it.
Mercedes from Casa.
Is she your advocate?
She was my girlfriend's advocate,
Okay.
and I would just go meet with them every week.
Oh, okay. So she was helping your girlfriend.
Yeah,
I see. And that's how you met Mercedes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she told me about this job opportunity and, you know, being able to build my own house. And
Yeah, I'm
I
curious. How did she
just
pitch this to you?
jumped on it.
Yeah, like what?
Oh.
Kind of try and walk me through it. How did she present it to you? What did she say? Like,
She
this thing's available. Tell me more about that.
She's like, so we're partnering with this trailer-made company and to help younger couples and stuff like you guys to get a job and, you know, teach you skills, stuff like that, and to build a house. And, you know, I immediately smile and I was like, yeah, I'll jump on that. And I went home, told my ex-girlfriend and her grandma about it, and they were real excited, and now I'm here.
Quinton jumped at this opportunity without hesitation, and that says a lot about his desire to build something better.
Sure.
When you first showed up here at Trailer Made, what was your first impression?
You guys don't around.
Tell me more. What do you mean?
You know, I immediately come into the door and everybody was working and, you know, they were just getting stuff done.
He's right. We don't mess around here, and Quinton fits right in.
What's been the most exciting part about working on the tiny home?
I'd have to say the outside, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Is that your favorite part?
So far, yeah.
Yeah? Putting up the finishes?
Yeah.
On the outside? Okay.
Watching him work on the outside of the house, you see real pride. He's creating something tangible, something he can call home.
Had you ever worked with tools or done construction or anything like that before starting here?
A little bit here and there, but not very much.
What are some of the skills that you've picked up since starting this project? Walk me through some of that.
I've learned how to actually use a tape measure. You know, Quinton taught me how to use the table saw, you know, skill saw, stuff like that.
Yeah, let's keep listening, man. This is your moment to
He's-
brag.
Seeing Quinton learn something as simple as a tape measure, it's funny, but it shows his dedication. He never quits. When Quinton got here, he barely knew how to use basic tools. But watching him now, you'd never know it. He's come so far in such a short time.
You know, he's just kind of been my mentor.
Sure.
You know, and I'm
He's a really
really thankful for it. He was, even though we have our days,
He's a
we
little
both-
grumpy sometimes, isn't he?
yeah, we both get stuff done,
Yeah.
and you know, it just feels like we're a good team.
Excellent. What are some of Give me the top 3 things that you appreciate that he's taught you since mentoring you here.
To actually read a tape measure. Taught me how to run the table saw, skill saw, stuff like that.
Okay. What's been the hardest part of learning all this?
Tape measure.
Tape measure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That seems to be a thing. What are some of the new skills besides tape measure that you have picked up since you started this project? Have you learned any plumbing or mechanical systems or
I've learned
electrical stuff or anything like that?
electrical, a little bit of plumbing.
Okay. Did you do any interior finishes or anything like that?
Painting,
Drywall.
drywall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All of it.
You were. I saw you during the drywall phase. You were really, really happy one day, and then
Not happy the next.
You were really, really not so happy because it went from
That Friday I was happy. That next Monday, not so happy.
Yeah. You were doing mud work, if I remember right.
Yeah, right.
Learning here as an apprentice, and it's not just one skill, is it? You're
No.
learning
All skills.
all of the skills.
Mentorship is a big part of this project. Hearing Quinton talk about the mentorship he's received, that's what it's all about.
If you could go back anywhere in the last 18 years and tell your younger self something that would alter the course of your life.
Don't give up, no matter what.
But you didn't, did you? You didn't give up.
No.
You still found your way to us. You still found the finish line on the project for building your home.
Yeah.
He didn't quit. And look where he is now. That's exactly what this project is meant to accomplish.
Who's the first person you want to show your new house to?
Everybody.
Yeah? Who would it make you feel the most proud to show it to?
My parents
Yeah?
and my son.
Nice. They'll all be proud of you. They should be.
Right.
You've accomplished a heck of a thing. And, people should recognize that. That's why we're telling this story.
Yeah.
Nothing better than seeing a young man like Quinton proud to show off what he's built.
How do you think working here has changed you so far?
It's changed me for the better.
How?
I'm just happier. I'm getting to learn new stuff. Don't do the same thing every day.
Just keeps it interesting?
Yeah.
Okay. And, what's the thing you're most looking forward to now that you've started this new journey? You've had some changes in your life, but give me the next 5 years. Give me the highlights of what your life looks like from today over the next 5 years. Where do you go from here to 5 years from now? What's Quinton's journey look like at ARC?
Get my license, get a vehicle, provide for my son,
Okay.
and, just be a good dad.
There you go. Those are right now things, I think. But where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you even think that far ahead yet?
No, I try not to think.
Has that been because you've been through times that are tough and it's easier to not think about tomorrow because it feels just as hopeless as the moment you're in? You feel like that's impacted you through trauma? Are you getting help for that? Are you seeing anybody for it?
No.
You should look into that. It really screws us up. And sometimes we don't even know it until
It's too late.
too late to do much about it, right? Yeah.
He's still finding hope again, but even just setting these goals shows how far he's come.
Is there anything you want to share with anybody out there that might watch this at some point in the future and see you and see where you are today? And what would you say to them?
If you get an opportunity, jump on it and don't waste your time or anybody else's time. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't.
Be serious about it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool, man.
Quinton's right. Opportunities matter.
Tell me what you're going to say to your son when you show him your house.
Look what your dad and the other Quinton built.
I want to see that.
Me too.
Hey, thanks for sharing.
You're
Glad
welcome.
to have you on the team.
Me too.
Right on, man. I think we're it. Yeah. That was good, dude. Good job.
Thank
That's
you.
it. See? That wasn't that bad, huh?
No.
Subscribe, share his story for us, and help us offer more blueprints for redemption to kids who need them. Quinton, we're proud of you. And I'm sure your grandpa is too. Thanks for watching. I'm Damon with the Tiny House Experts. We'll see you next time.
you're not home insecure, and that's how does that feel? Like,
Really good.
you're a homeowner
Especially at 18 years old.
that you built.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you had help, but you built it.
Didn't need mommy or daddy's money.
No. You've shown that it's a test. It really is. You've shown that it's attainable. Somebody can do this.
Right.
With a little help and a lot of determination. You can build yourself a life by building yourself a home.
Right.
It's kind of like step one.
Yeah.